Hello everyone, welcome back. It's early spring of 2024 and this is a pile of different fruit tree prunings from midwinter, late fall that I did. They've just been sitting here all winter and I noticed the other day that it looks like the rabbits have been enjoying these. Now what's cool about this and why I wanted to make this video, this is just sort of that's not the reason that I put these here. I threw them here fully intending to run them through the chipper shredder and make mulch out of them for the garden. But it just never got around to it. They sat here all winter, and here we are. The rabbits have been enjoying them. Now what's cool about this, and what might be useful to you, depending if you have fruit trees, is every year the rabbits chew on our blueberries. And although I have like a netting around the garden, they can get through there. I chose one that was too large, even though it seemed like it should have been small enough. I've seen rabbits go right through it like it's not even there. It's kind of crazy actually to watch. But they always chew on our blueberries. Well, this year they haven't. They haven't touched the blueberries at all. They've just been chowing down on this buffet of fruit sticks here, basically. They've got pear, peach, plum, apple, cherry, all kinds of good wood to chew on. So maybe they've just been loving this and enjoying this a lot more than they would chewing on blueberry bushes. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's a side effect. It's not something that I tried to do, but now that I know that, when I prune my fruit trees, I might just leave the sticks in a pile all winter and then shred them in the spring, just because maybe it distracts the rabbits from the other bushes. Now, all our fruit trees have plastic drainage pipe around them to protect the trunks from rabbits chewing on them, because in the wintertime nutrients are scarce, food is scarce, and so they're going for that cambium layer under the bark where there's nutrition, and they'll just chew on that. That's what they want. If they do that to your tree, I'll show you what that does, because actually the first 2 years we lived here, I never protected my trees. I didn't know you had to do that, and I got away with it for a few years, but then one particular winter they really, really hit some trees hard. I'll show you what they did. Not those pawpaws. They don't touch the pawpaws, but we'll take a little walk here. That's why the pawpaws aren't protected. Rabbits won't touch them. So here's an apple tree. Now this is before I had these on here. You can see they just took a strip out of the bark there. That was about 2 years ago, and that's when I started protecting these with this black drain tile. So once that drain tile's on, they won't be able to get to it, but yeah, that was before we did that. But check this out. I'll show you one in the back here. They really did a number on one of our apples in the back and also one of the plums in the back. I thought for sure they killed the plum. I mean, they probably took about 3/4 of the bark off the plum tree that I'm going to show you in a minute. But that was 2 years ago, and the thing has grown like 15 feet since then. So I guess trees are tougher. So if you ever have rabbit damage to your tree, just leave it in the ground and let it grow. You never know. Check this apple out here. So this is a pink pearl apple. The rabbits pretty much took like 50% of the bark off. But if we go around to the other side, and I'll sort of like move around here so you can see they hadn't touched the back. And so this tree is just encapsulating that wound. And even with all that damage, this was about 2 years ago, it's gone through a couple of cycles and it's just been healthy as can be. And it's grown a ton, and it will eventually it won't heal. So trees don't heal. It's not like, a wound, you cut your hand and it heals or something. What the tree will do is it will just put layers of growth out again and again and again, and eventually just encapsulate that wound, and it'll be inside and you won't see it. There's that cherry tree. I love that cherry tree. It's pretty awesome. But what I don't love is those buds want to open. I mentioned in the pawpaw bud video, you get like 3 warm days and the cherry tree just wants to like flower. I'm like, no, not time yet. Check out this plum tree. This is a green gauge plum, and this is the one I thought they really did in. You can see the damage they did. I think they probably ate, and this was a couple years ago this happened, like 3/4 at least of the bark that was on this tree at the time. I was really upset because the green gauge plum is one of my favorites, and this one hasn't fruited yet because it was a young tree. But over the last couple years, it's really encapsulated itself pretty well. Now, I mean, it looks gnarly. a lot of stone fruit are going to look kind of gnarly, and obviously this tree went through some serious trauma. I mean, the rabbits did a number, but it's closing up. You can see it's closing up like a scar tissue almost. And the tree I pruned back to like 4 feet tall, and now it's like 12 feet tall, as you'll see. So it's certainly bounced back and is doing really well. So if you have damaged trees, don't give up on them. Let them grow and see what happens. You might just be surprised. Actually, more times than not, they'll do well.